human lives on board, but also international trade, the monies that are affected, and what the community has to pay for these cargoes to arrive by avoiding piracy are becoming bigger and bigger and bigger, and we need a solution. I'm just going to say that for the solution, it's going to be funny what I will say, but for the solution, we may need to think laterally and freshly and dig deeply into the history. The biggest story of pirates is Captain Hook with his crocodile and the clock. It's Peter Pan and Tinkerbell, who was coming with her magic stick, and she was spreading the stars. And then all the strong pirates of Captain Hook were smiling and becoming peaceful and good people. I don't know if the Tinkerbell symbolism can enrich our thinking about piracy. So this is about piracy. We talked about economy, we talked about market, we talked about piracy. Let's talk about education. One new thing in shipping is that this high quality shipping we have experienced in the last years, beautiful ships, new ships, high technology, has made the people managing those ships to be accustomed to the beautiful, to the good, to the easy. A cadet who is training to become a captain and a manager in an office spends 2 years on a ship which has no problems. It's beautiful, nice accommodation, he writes papers, he receives emails, he's got Skype with his wife. Beautiful. That's very important for the seafarer, because the job was difficult because of the separation. But he grows up in a flowery environment. And the third mate also, and the chief mate, who became chief mate after 4 years in these beautiful ships, and the captain and the chief engineer, they have not experienced the hardship our generation, Mr. Papadakis' generation, who is the chairman of Intercargo, and he has everything in his blood as a traditional ship owner, the new people have not gone through the hardship, neither the technical hardship, not the human relationship hardship, nor the crisis in the markets, ups and downs. And it is not only the cadet, the steward, the captain, the engineer. The superintendent engineer in the office, he graduated in MIT. He is very self-confident about his education. He goes to the office and he does not understand the hardship of a ship. His manager is another graduate of MIT. And into the industry, we have started losing the sense of the sea-going tradition, the sea-going difficulty, the situations that make a seafarer a strong man who handles the water. So for you, the educators, I think, next to the technical education you're going to convey, all the new systems which we need, I think that the big chapter is how shall we move the experience of the gray-haired seafarers of hardship into the new generations. Otherwise, we run a huge risk of tremendous disasters and a failure in the market, and also we lose the risk of not having the optimism now and the strength to go through the difficult time successfully. So this is about education. I want to say only a few things about technology. The main direction of the technology in our times is to become greener, to have less emissions, to consume less oil, not to move invasive species from one sea to the other with the ballast water management. These are very serious targets of our technology. As the whole world is spending efforts to reduce emissions, to reduce footprint, to make everything more efficient, the shipping community must and does invest a lot in the technology for reduction of energy consumption, alternative energy systems, savings. I want to say almost two things here. One thing, how much can we save through technology? The engineers in this room know that with technology, fine hulls, propellers, everything, we can save 5, 6, 10, 15%. We cannot achieve the targets we have set to our industry to go to 30 and 40. If we want to go on to 30 and 40, which it's worth doing, then we have to look into other areas of creativity. And I think the area of creativity is the soft parts of the industry, is removing suboptimality, is optimizing, triangulating the cargoes, reducing the ballast legs, reducing the waiting times, reducing the speeds whenever possible. So we have got a huge spectrum, an area for economies and non-emissions and non-pollution in the area of handling our industry in a more smart but also synergic way. We have to work together with the charters and the communities to achieve that. And before I finish, I will say that, okay, we are doing our best for emissions. We are doing our best for the environment. And we are doing it on a fast pace. And we are leading the industry to pay millions of dollars, or not even trillions of dollars. Probably you have heard some interesting news that the measurements about the ozone hole are indicating that the ozone hole is not increasing but decreasing. Scientists, big cluster of scientists, are thinking, was the ozone hole the heat effect of climate or other factors? Now more people believe that other factors may be the reason of heating. Movement of the earth, volcanoes or whatever. So the question is, now that we are into this very fast environmental green enthusiasm, I will not call it mania, I will not call it dictatorship, I will not call eco-freaks, I'll call it enthusiasm. And we are leading the industry to pay billions of dollars. Should we consider this news from the stratosphere and readjust our value engineering? Where do we as societies and as economies prioritize the spending of our money? Should we be so eager to spend them in technology for propellers? Or should we be equally eager to plant more trees in the Amazon forest so that we have net environmental benefits? And this needs some groundbreaking thinking, because it needs to bring together all the stakeholders, not just the shipping people. The shipping people do their best. But in order to manage the money for propellers and for trees, we need cross groups, communication, and synergy. So I hope this was okay as an introduction. I'm not. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ah, look at that. That's an olive tree. And that's a symbol of peace. And we need peace to work forward. Mr. Abbas, it was an honor for me to meet you here.